Connecting and should be live now. What is up, Talos of Tech and Apple Sheep everywhere? It's your classic. Hopefully made it on schedule this time for once in a long, long time. The Thursday night, 11:30, a little bit late. Thursday night Talos of Tech live stream. A bit of a different setup. I know this is weird. It's a change, okay? I have to accommodate the fact that it's very, very difficult for me to move this whole desk around, which is what I usually do. Usually this white desk is up against the blue wall, and then when I go live, I just move it over here. When I had a MacBook, that's easy. This thing has kind of got to stay where it's at. So I thought something that might be fun is we can have the chat on the screen here. So if you guys super chat, obviously it'll show up on the background of the video. And when you guys are talking a bunch in the chat, it shows up in the background too. Hey, what's up? Hooray. Hey, how's it going? My favorite YouTuber. Thank you. Chats with K. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been going great. It's been very, very fun using this iMac Pro. If the audio's off, try to refresh the live stream. That's usually the best solution. Let's see what happens when I watch it. Let's see how off it is for me. Audio's off. Try to refresh the live stream. That's usually the best solution. Yeah, it is a little bit off. Off sync a little bit. I wish there was something I could do to fix that, but as of now, I don't know what I can do because that's just how the software encodes it. If it gets distractingly bad and people keep bringing it up, I'll try to stop and start the stream really quick. Actually, I might not have to. Nice new setup. Where did you get that live iMac Pro wallpaper? Actually, if you go out on Twitter and look up Apple iDesigner, this is where I actually got the idea. You can download this video and get this app that turns videos into live photos, and then if you convert that video into a live photo, then you can get the same wallpaper I did. It's me on the screen. Yes, the chat is on the iMac Pro now. Joe Rain says it's in sync for him. Okay. So for him it's in sync, which is good. How's your experience with the new iMac Pro? It's been wonderful, honestly. Like, the fact that there's nothing this thing can't do yet, meaning I don't have a camera or some kind of processing technology that this thing can't do. One issue I did run into, and it's not even Apple's fault, is one thing we were really excited to try was Windows 10 on the iMac Pro, so we could test out its gaming performance on games like GTA 5 or Overwatch and Doom and Wolfenstein and stuff like that. Really looking forward to doing that. At this time, Windows 10 does not have the drivers or software to support the GPU and CPU that are in the iMac Pro. So we tried to boot camp it. We tried to, like, the day we bought it, we tried to put the day it was delivered, we tried to put Windows 10 on boot camp on the iMac Pro. Doesn't boot up. It just says Windows 10 does not support the hardware that this machine is on. So at this point, there is no version of Windows 10 that can run on the iMac Pro, and I've actually talked to a few game developers who said they're dealing with the exact same issue. So sadly, there's not much we can do about that until Microsoft updates their OS, which probably is not a big priority for them, so I don't know when that's going to happen. We tried Parallels. A very generous fan sent Parallels to me, which is just kind of a Windows 10 emulator that's running in macOS. For the most part, it works. You know, it's running Windows 10 at 5K, which is nice, but as soon as you try to run games on it, Parallels does not let you use the GPU, or at least for me, not much of the GPU, just for dedicated gaming, so like nothing really runs correctly. So I don't want to pretend that this is what the iMac Pro's gaming performance is like if it's not truly. It's just an emulator. So is the Q&A in this stream? Yes. You can ask any questions you want, and you guys will pop up here. Super chats definitely will light up the display. And yeah, I also have the chat here on my MacBook Pro just off camera. So yeah, I'm glad you guys like the setup. Yeah, Windows is not designed for running such high-end hardware, exactly. We did everything right. We did everything correctly with the boot camp and stuff, and then it just said Windows 10 cannot run on this hardware. It's too new. It's too fancy. What do you think of the Galaxy S9? Well, sadly, we found out recently via a leak that they weren't able to even shrink the bezel slightly, which means that, disappointingly, the Galaxy S9 is going to look almost identical to the S8 with just minor tweaks to where the camera and Touch ID placement are on the back. And that's about the only change, which is kind of a bummer. I was kind of looking forward to just a little something new, like shrinking the chin a little bit, because there's no reason for that chin to be there. That's what I like about the iPhone 10. Every inch of that thing is used to its best potential, so same size bezel all the way around, and then at the top, just the notch for where the sensors need to be. On the S9, you could just have a large forehead because that's where the sensors are. But no, they're going to look the same. But it'll have the Snapdragon 845, which will be interesting to see that processor improvement finally for Android. Finally and up from the Snapdragon 835. But for the most part, yeah, I don't think it's going to be an exciting upgrade. I think what it's going to do is make a lot of people switch to the S8 because the S8 is going to get cheaper. So S9 will be like, why pay for that when you can get the S8? It'll probably have a dual camera on the Plus model, but not the smaller one. Will we ever see a 3-camera iPhone? Technically, you have one now. But in terms of 3 rear-facing cameras, probably not for a long time. I don't think they would do that. Oh, let's see. Hello from Singapore. Thanks for watching. In the stream, iPhone 10 is top-notch. That joke has not been made yet. Absolutely. How is macOS High Sierra on iMac Pro? It's been amazing, honestly. Like, the last 2 videos on the tech channel were edited on this. Complete overkill. Completely unnecessary. Both of them like 9 to 7 minutes, 1080 at 60, exports in like a minute. You know, on Final Cut Pro, I just hit export. It's just whoop, done. Really, really cool. And I haven't used programs like Adobe Premiere and After Effects yet because I haven't needed to. But when I do, I'm very, very curious to see how well it's going to handle all that. And it, like I said earlier, as soon as Windows 10 can get an update so that it can run on there, I'm very excited to test its gaming performance. Hey, you said you would give a shout out to who gave you the idea for your video earlier today. That was my ideas from the gaming stream. Okay, so what's your name? Your name is Everything Tech Bro. Thank you. Thank you for your idea on reviewing all of what Apple's done this year. Appreciate it. You guys have him to thank for today's tech video. Thank you. Hello from the USA. That's where I am too. Why are you dreaming? I'm not dreaming. Why are you streaming so late? Because a lot of people watching, this is not late. For a lot of people watching, this is the morning. I have fans all around the globe, and I want to reach as many of them as possible. So on Tuesdays, we have regular live stream times, and on Thursdays, we have late night for the other parts of the world. Do you use 3D Touch much? Yeah, I'd say I use it most in iMessage when I'm sending the screen animations, and with live photos is by far the most common applications. In terms of just the apps on the home screen, no, not very much. But I do use 3D Touch for live photos a lot, so I'm glad it's there. I would definitely. I don't think they should get rid of it. But I understand that you don't use it a crazy lot of the time. I can like peek into apps and stuff like that, but usually I don't. But yeah, I mean some of the flagship 3D Touch features, a lot of people that like Apple would advertise, I don't use a lot, but for the small amount of times I do use it, it's very, very handy, and I would very much notice. If the iMac, I would very much notice if 3D Touch was gone. It would be a worse experience. Buy a GTX 1080 i7 PC. There you go. Well, I could, but the thing is, like I said in the video, I don't make purchases on devices that have a single purpose, or I try not to. I prefer making purchases with one device that can do a lot of different things. And because I'm primarily not a gamer, if I was primarily a gamer and that was my main purpose, sure, I would buy a gaming PC. But we also already have one in the gaming room that can run PC games still, to this day, just fine. This was more for video editing and high-end processing with Mac OS. I was not primarily focused on Windows 10 when buying this machine. And the gaming thing was more of an extra, like, also how well does it do this? And sadly, I can't do the PC games right now. I'm running all the games that run on macOS just fine, but they're older and not graphically intensive. Oh, first super chat. Thank you. Zach Tech Reviews donated. See, it pops up here. It says, are you going to CES? If so, I'd like to buy you a drink. Keep up the great content. Thank you, and sadly, I cannot. I'm too busy with both 2X and traveling is a bit of a hassle for me as I'm trying to make content on a daily basis. But thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. I'd like to go to CES one day, but sadly, that's not going to be 2018. There's a lot going on right now here in Oroville and Chico, but I can't mess with that yet. Anyway, How is Space Gray on the iMac Pro? Well, I mean, it's a color, but it's great. I love this design look. Every time someone comes in to the office and they see it, they're like, "Whoa, that's a neat computer." It just gives off this like very premium look compared to like other iMacs that are just regular silver. Which I guess they've never been called silver before. They're the iMac. But now that there is a space gray color, it's really, really cool. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Windows 10. The only thing it allows me to do is run Steam. If there was a way to run any Steam game without installing Windows 10, I would totally go for it. The iMac Pro should be wirelessly charged. Agreed. How? I do not like Ajit Pai. No, I thought I talked about that in a video. This setup works so well. So proud, Drew. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the setup. It's kind of weird, actually. My MacBook Pro is resting right off camera on the iMac Pro box, as is the microphone, because I needed something to replace the desk. Usually I flip this desk around for live streams and just move it over here. It's a very small and light desk. But now, obviously, with the iMac Pro here, that doesn't work. I think I need a bigger desk. This is barely cutting it, the keyboard and mouse and everything, and then I run out of desk space very quickly. So, yeah, I'll probably be doing... I'll probably be finding a newer desk pretty soon. When are you doing a giveaway? I gave away the Ridge backpack to, I believe, someone named Randy, who's another smaller YouTuber who's been a fan for a while. He said he's working on filming a video of him unboxing it. He sent me a picture that it was delivered to him. But like a major giveaway is difficult for me to do right now just because money is tight. Clearly. I mean, a lot of people will be like, but Drew, you can afford that. It's like, well, that wipes out quite a lot of my excess spending money. So I can't afford to give away things like iPhone 10s or AirPods right now. I would like to. We'll get there, though. Base model iMac Pro or full spec 2017 iMac? I still think I would take the base model iMac Pro over it, mostly for the space gray color, and also you're getting very different level of CPU with the Intel processor on this thing compared to a fully max iMac, which is just a quad core. This has 8 cores, so that's obviously better. It's more money, but yeah, I think it'd be more worth it. What do you think a possible AirPods 2 could offer? Probably just more color options, please. I mean, there's obviously the blatant things, better battery life, better connection, better sound quality, but it's like that's not an original idea. I just want better colors. I want more colors, not better. Will you remember me when you reach 1 million subs? I gotta say, it's very difficult to remember everyone because there's a growing number every single day and lots of people constantly saying, will you remember me? So I can't promise that. Sadly, that's just how the internet works. Love from Las Vegas. Love back to Las Vegas. Thank you for watching. Still expecting Apple Car? They're doing something with the car. I'm not exactly sure if it's software or hardware. They've kind of gone back and forth on it. I've seen some people go with they're just working on software and they're just experimenting, and other patents are claiming that they're working on an actual physical car like a Tesla competitor. I think it's most likely that they're just working on software because I don't know, just the idea of an actual car like a Tesla competitor is so much more expensive and crazy than what would actually, than just doing software, which sounds totally more reasonable. But yeah, obviously I want them to actually compete with Tesla, but then they got to start making charge stations all over the place. Tesla's got a huge advantage there. They'd be very, very new to that fight, and while I want them to go there, I don't think it's likely that they'll go there. If anything, they'll just kind of partner with Tesla. Let's see. What do you think about the iPad Pro Smart Keyboard cover? I don't see the point in spending $180 on something that the iPad has on it. I'm totally content with virtual keyboards. I grew up on virtual keyboards, just typing on a touchscreen. I can type on those very, very quickly. That's why I really prefer butterfly keys. You know, how the little travel time. I'm used to that. So no, I don't see the point in the Smart Keyboard. It's a keyboard that the iPad already has. It's fine. Why don't you have more subscribers? Your channel is the best tech channel on YouTube. It's because it's incredibly biased, which means that I'm very, very easy to disagree with. So a lot of people who watch very quickly go, oh, don't like that, and then leave. So, but I'm okay with that because I live under the belief that you can't really get people to love your channel without getting certain people to hate it. I think that's just how YouTube works. iPhone 10 sales are going down, and what will happen next year? They obviously go down after the Christmas season. Everything goes down in January. This is not unexpected. Typically, you have that holiday rush for the Christmas season. Lots of people buying iPhones for themselves and for others. And then after Christmas, January, that's when ad revenue, in fact, on YouTube goes down, which means even I'll be making less money because people out of the 12 months of the year buy the least amount of stuff in January. There's so little going on. Everyone's burnt out on shopping from Christmas. So that's why sales are going down. I don't think it's necessarily because people aren't interested in the iPhone 10. It's just the people who really, really wanted one got one. And now the people who aren't really too excited for it but might get one later are just going to buy them at their own pace. And they're probably not going to buy them in January. It's likely more of a later in the year kind of thing. So I'm not worried about it. I don't think it means that Apple's doomed to fail because they're not continuously growing on iPhone 10 sales. Opinions on how Apple debacle going on right now. So yeah, I talk about this in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow in 10 minutes. But yeah, they issued a big statement explaining what they're going to do about the down throttling complaints. A lot of people arguing about how mad they are about that. So Apple just went into detail in this letter and explained, look, we do this so that the product lasts long. We're going to now cut down the price. If you want to speed up your phone, it's only $30 at an Apple store to get your battery replaced. So after all of that, it's pretty hard, I think, to be mad at them, but people are going to be mad at Apple regardless, so it doesn't matter. I think they slow down iPhones so that they last longer. I'm totally okay with that. I think that's a good thing. If they only cared about money and they only wanted you to buy the newest iPhone every year, they wouldn't slow them down because then the batteries would just die and you'd have to upgrade. You'd have no choice. You could make a video of what you think Apple should upgrade/refresh for 2018. That's likely one of the more upcoming videos. Is actually maybe not all of 2018 because that's a lot to cover, but I think Apple could actually hold a keynote in March. I think there's enough stuff that's yet to come out that they could fill a keynote with. Not a long one, not like a Worldwide Developers Conference. Like do a small basic keynote, but just do a simple AirPods wireless charging are now available. AirPower is now available. HomePod now available. There's a new iPhone 10 color. Refresh the iPhone SE. Make a 2018 iPad that's point is to be cheap, but update the specs in it and maybe make the last year model even cheaper. We talk about that on the Taylor of Tech podcast. So there's a lot of things going on that I don't think you need to wait till Worldwide Developers Conference did make. It's totally possible that Apple might announce the HomePod, the AirPower wireless charging and all of that. They might do all that just with a website update, kind of like they did in March earlier this year. But again, not much happened back then. I think a lot more is happening right now. Back in the beginning of this year, it was like new iPhone 7 color, new iPad that's cheap, and that's about it. Whereas now I think there's a lot of things that they could announce pricing for and announce like how they work. Like, can you buy just the wireless charging case for your AirPods, or do you have to buy a whole new pair? They could explain all that. I have not invested in any cryptocurrency, no. I'd like to, though. I don't have a ton of spare money to just throw at currencies, though. What happened to your MacBook Pro since you got the iMac Pro? Well, it's still right here. They're very different products. I wish people wouldn't look at them as the same thing. They do a lot of the same thing, but MacBook Pro, I can take that anywhere. This is very hard to move around, and it has not moved from the desk since I set it up here. It's still there. It's a stationary device. It's very, very powerful. But if I want to edit on the go, if we want to do live streams in another room on the Taylor Swift Gaming channel, we move it around. It's helpful for that. It's also just helpful because sometimes when we're here at the office, my friends are helping me edit my vlogs while I'm editing something else. So we have options. Okay, so someone can edit on this while I edit on this. It's just nice to have around. I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to downgrade it. I'm still very, very happy with it. So it's still part of my ecosystem. I have an iMac Pro. I have a MacBook Pro. And they're the same color. It's really, really cool. Do you wish the iMac Pro should have smaller bezels? Um, it's the smaller bezels is cool, but I understand why it's not a priority for Apple right now with the Mac lineup because I believe it costs more money. It's probably harder to manufacture something with thinner bezels, and it doesn't change the user experience very much. I mean, something like an iPhone 10, when you shrink the bezels on this, it's very, very noticeable, and it changes the user experience, and it changed the way things look. Whereas on an iMac Pro, it wouldn't change much. It would look cool, yeah. So I'm not saying I would be upset if they shrunk bezels, but I'm saying I'm not upset that they haven't. It's kind of like, it's kind of like water resistance on expensive devices. Like if they announced that this year's MacBook Pro is waterproof, I'd be like, I mean, I didn't ever run into that problem of making my MacBook Pro fall in water and having it die, but I guess now that it's waterproof, that's nice. Like, I'm not mad. It's just not something I think I'd appreciate very much. So if they slim the bezels on the iMac Pro, sure, looks cool. But the fact that they didn't, no big deal. I don't really care. What happened to October event 2017? They had nothing else to announce. As we saw, there was no keynote or there was no even website update for the HomePod or iMac Pro. There's nothing else to talk about. No need for an event. You should do a video like an Apple collection showing every Apple product you want. That's basically my videos now, right? Like today's video, I talked about my iPad, my watch, my phone, my iMac. It's just about everything. Someone just wrote, please. Can you show us the face on your Apple Watch? I got one for Christmas. Oh, the Apple Watch face. I'm on a pretty basic watch face with the round second and hour hands, and I've got activity, battery life, and now playing. It's pretty basic. I go for ones that save your battery. Like I've been wearing this all day, never charged it, and I'm at 76% battery life. Like not bad at all. And I've been using it quite a bit. What is your reaction to Apple's apology? First of all, I think it was extremely generous and nice of them to go forward with that and apologize to everyone and make things cheaper. But I also think it was unnecessary. I think that they were totally justified in down-throttling their phones, and the whole reason they're doing this is because the media basically attacked them for something they really should have done. If they didn't down throttle the phones, your phones wouldn't be working at all. I don't know why people want the alternative option. Like, what if I don't want it to be down throttled? It's like, okay, then you can't use it anymore. So which is better? Using the phone slower or not having it at all? I think Apple made the right choice. I don't think that should be a debate. And again, we have not seen statements from other companies that are doing the exact same thing. Samsung phones do this. Pixel phones are eventually going to do this once their battery starts degrading. Even the original Pixel isn't old enough at this point. But I'm saying, like, Apple at least is being upfront about this. We haven't seen the statements made from the competition. So for those demanding for transparency, Apple is still leading the market in terms of being transparent about down throttling. Charles Patterson's, how was your Xmas? And also I got AirPods. Yes, thank you for donating. Yes, it was a great Christmas. I spent it with my family. See, look at the super chat. It lights up the screen. People had problems with their phones and they complained to Apple's customer service and they didn't inform them. Well, it's because that wouldn't fix the problem, is my point. Like, okay, your phone's being down throttled. Now you know. Like, it's not a... It doesn't fix the situation. But yeah, Christmas was good. I spent it with my family. And yeah, I got a lot of stuff. I got this really cool, I'm going to show you. This black and red Tesla mug, which I'm really enjoying. And I got the Steve Jobs book, and I got the Milk and Vine book. It goes perfectly with my gamepad, which is also black and red. I'll pay $20 for those black Apple stickers. You down? No. That's not high enough. I need an absurd amount. Here's the thing. A lot of people have been asking, okay? A lot of people have been asking about Space Gray Magic Trackpad, me selling that, and also about the black Apple stickers, the black Lightning cable. All of these things are exclusive when you buy an iMac Pro. You can't buy them elsewhere. I like that they're exclusive. I want these things. I'd like to keep these things. However, you can convince me that I don't want them with the right price. If you're willing to pay some absurd amount of money for them, First of all, don't just super chat and say, "Is that enough?" What you should do is make the offer in the chat, say what you'd be willing to pay and for what, and then I'll tell you if I'd agree to that. Oh, thank you, Jay Swag. You donated $1, but thank you. But yeah, what I'm saying is you can convince me I don't want the Black Lightning cable. You can convince me I don't want the Magic Trackpad for absurd prices. $50 for the stickers. You're getting better. I don't know. I'm thinking of places I can put them. I like a t-shirt. It matches your iPhone. Thank you. My girlfriend bought this for me. But yeah, I'm loving this Tesla mug. I've got a Tesla flag. I've got a Tesla t-shirt. Oh, Green Paul says, I'll pay $1,200 for the Black Lightning cable. Sold. I don't want it anymore. If you're willing to pay that, $250 for the cord? Yeah, I could do that. I'd say $250. If someone super chats $250 right now, I'll contact you. I'll open your channel link, and I'll make sure I have a way to contact you via your channel. If you super chat that amount, then yeah, I'll contact you and ship it your way with a signed note, because this isn't really you just buying the cable. It's you supporting the channel, you going a certain direction, and deciding to support Tailosive. That's what that donation would be. Cameron donates $1. Thank you. I'll donate $500 right now for keyboard, mouse, trackpad. No. Keyboard and mouse not for sale. Sorry. $250? That's insane. Exactly. I want it. You have to convince me I don't want it. I don't want to sell it, but if it's an absurd price point, I will. That's why I'm saying I'm only selling it for incredibly absurd price points. Will you reply to me now that I have an iPhone 10? Well, I can see your chat. $750 for keyboard and trackpad. Keyboard and mouse are staying no matter what. Those aren't for sale. I like these. You can't convince me I don't want them. $750 right. Keyboard, trackpad. Again, no. I will keep them. I like the Magic Trackpad stickers and lightning cable, but I'm saying you can convince me I don't want them. I would say $500 for the trackpad though. I would sell that. Someone donates $500 in super chat and says, I want the Magic Trackpad too. Space Gray, there you go. No one wants to donate, that's fine. That's fine. I'd like to keep them too. I'm fine with either situation. This is a win-win for me. Does your psoriasis cause your skin to be oilier or drier? Mostly drier, especially after you get out of the shower. It gets very, very irritable. It's terrible. I missed iMac Pro unboxing, but what specs did you get for it? It's basically the base model. The only difference is I got the 2 terabyte option and I got the included Magic Trackpad. So, other than that. $400 for trackpad? I don't know. I could keep it. How about $450? I'll go it to $450. Someone super chats $450. First person to donate at least $450 for Magic Trackpad, I'll be like, okay, sold. What do you think about purchasing the Apple Watch Series 1 in 2018? Don't get it from Apple. Get a refurbished one from someone else. You can probably get one for a much better deal, especially better than what I'm selling this crap for. You super chat via a browser. So if you're on the YouTube mobile app, just go to Safari or Chrome or go on a desktop. Do you like the trackpad? It's nice, but I prefer the mouse. I'd prefer the mouse, honestly. That's why I'm not selling the mouse or keyboard. I'm keeping that no matter what. No matter what you offer. But the trackpad, nice. It's handy, but I wouldn't use it very much. I haven't used it very much. It's off to the side here. And I'm very willing to let someone else use it if it helps knock down the total price of the iMac Pro. Spotify or Apple Music, I want to make a purchase. Go Apple Music. Works on more stuff. I like Android better than Apple, but love your vids. Thank you, J-Swag. Appreciate it. It's weird. This one's like a head for some reason. I can see the super chat on that one before this one. Do you use the Apple Pages or Google Docs or Microsoft Word? Same with Numbers and Keynote. I don't use Numbers or Keynote for anything. I just don't have a need for it. $15,000 for the Pro. That's fair, yeah. I'll sell you the iMac Pro for $15,000. Was I asking? Or support for anything on iPad? Stickers? What was the price point we agreed on the stickers? I said 200, right? I'd send you the stickers and a signed letter and thanking you for your donation to the entire network, and the stickers for 200. I think that's fair. It's not fair at all, but I want the stickers. But you can convince me, like I said, that I don't want them. Have you stayed in touch with MKBHD? We'll be seeing the collab on his channel or in-person meeting. Probably not an in-person meeting for a long, long time. We're very, very far apart. That would be difficult to arrange. However, yeah, he responded to a tweet I made earlier in his video where he just openly admitted, he openly just said, what was it? He just said, I like the Pixel 2 more because I'm biased, and I said, that's okay, I am too. And then he replied to it with, I had a feeling this would be taken out of context. And I was kind of like, but was it out of context? You said you're biased and you like the Pixel 2 because you're biased. I'm like, I'm the exact same way. I like the iPhone 10 because I'm biased. Apple should optimize CarPlay for iPhone 10 screen. I don't know how to do that. I've never used CarPlay. I don't have a car that supports it, so that's why you haven't heard me talk about it much. But I'm going to go ahead and just say sure. Give a big old sure on that one. How much would just a signed personal letter be? I don't know. I'd have to find paper and a pen somewhere. I don't know. 75? Super chat $75, and then you have to let me know your address in DMs, and then just send you a letter. I don't know. Don't do that. That's stupid. What's your thoughts on AirPower that's supposed to be coming out next year? I'll be getting them. I'll probably be getting two. My idea is to put an AirPower mat right at the base of the iMac Pro. That way, well, actually, no, that would be more impractical. I have this. Can you guys see it? No, anyway. I have this wireless charging stand right here. And I just, I drop my iPhone 10 on it, like this, and it just charges. And also now, when I tap it, it's pointed at me and Face ID unlocks. It's just at the perfect orientation for Face ID to work. So yeah, I really, really like that. So I probably wouldn't put AirPower right there. Yes, Andrew?
I'm just looking at the
stream stuff. Okay.
I realized I was like, how are you streaming this if the iMac Pro is on the desk?
Yeah, it's good.
Using the iMac Pro box, that makes sense.
What if someone, what if someone broke in the studio and only stole the black lightning cable? I would be heartbroken. I would be so very upset. Stop again for a hello in the chat, but I work in 5 hours, so I'm asleep. Go to sleep. You got work soon. Focus on that. That's more important. I feel accomplished. My question has been answered. Good. I tried my best. Jonky super chatted. Thank you. Will Jet Black return? I don't know. Probably not. You know I support your channel, but I have to call BS on your view on the throttling thing. Okay, good. We got controversy. Most phones just have worse battery life after 2 years, no unexpected shutdowns, and no throttling. Again, it varies depending on the circumstance. This has not happened to every single smartphone. The reason they did this was because people were complaining. The reason they took action was because people said the phones were dying when they were not yet at 0% and the battery life was getting shrunk. This is actual cases. It may not have been for you, but this was happening for people. This is what inspired Apple to take action on this matter. Okay. So that's why they moved on it, and then of course when they actually try to fix the problem, people get upset. Yeah. Do you like everything Apple Pro collab? He's not interested in collabing. He's made that very, very clear. But I still watch all his videos. Yeah. Final Cut for iPad. Yes, that'd be great. I met Louise at college. We're hoping for, again, schedules can change, but we're hoping to record the next Talos of Tech podcast tomorrow night, which will hopefully be available Saturday. So that's when you can enjoy the next Talos of Tech podcast. $2 for iMac Pro. Yeah, that seems fair. No. If technology didn't exist, what would you do? I'd probably still be working at the Mansion Ranch. I don't know. It'd be a very different life. People are just dramatic. They are, yes. Again, it's kind of hard for me to defend the whole down throttling thing too, because I don't use old phones. You know, I just kind of, maybe I grew up this way, but I just understand that if you have a phone and it's 3 to 4 years old, it's going to not run as well. It's going to be slower. Whether that's from the software or the hardware, it doesn't matter. That's just how technology works. But I do know that I've had a history of Apple's products lasting much, much longer than any other brand I've ever bought. My 2012 iMac is just off camera. Still runs just fine. Still runs perfectly. Do you like the pink and blue the iPod Touch comes in? I do. I just wish it was on other devices. I don't want an iPod Touch. The Grand Theory of Apple. Yes, a lot of people kept telling me to watch that, so I checked it out. Very good points. I disagreed with a couple parts in it. Like, I don't think that Apple made the Apple Watch thinking that that'll replace the iPhone. I disagree with that. I think it was more of an accompaniment to the iPhone that allows you to use it less, but it's never supposed to replace it. But yeah, for the most part, really, really agreed with everything that was said in that video about how Apple is always trying to top themselves. If they only cared about profit, they'd still be making iPods today. But continuously, Apple is okay with negative PR because they're all for making technology disappear into the experience, and they're not trying to provide options to tech people. They're trying to make technology get out of the way. That is the primary ideals that Apple shares, and I agree with that. And have fun. That's the whole point. Yes. Do you think that the iMac Pro is worth the money if you have a relatively new iMac 2014 or 2015? iMac Pro is really only good for extreme power users. Like if I had no intention on upgrading to a different camera or a different DSLR setup or a different recording frame rate, there'd be no really reason to iMac Pro. If my intention was to just film on the camera I have now and just keep using that, then the iMac Pro would be useless. My MacBook Pro can handle this just fine. If I needed a machine with more storage, I should just get a regular iMac with 2 to 3 terabytes Fusion drive in it. Much, much cheaper. But what this is for is, as I'm seeing my business grow and as I'm seeing more and more need for technology to be able to process a lot more content, I see this as a long-term investment. I see this as, okay, what am I going to be filming with a year from now? What am I going to be filming with 2 years from now? I want to make sure that this Nest desktop purchase is going to be able to handle anything I may potentially throw at it. So I'm thinking about where Tailosif's going in the next couple of years, how big we're going to get, what kind of cameras we're going to be switching to. And for those reasons, I think the iMac Pro is worth it to me. If you don't see those plans in your near future, then no, it's definitely very, very expensive and not necessarily for everyone. There's probably much more applications in which the regular iMac will work just fine. In fact, mostly MacBooks can probably get you by just fine, and you can take them anywhere. Yes, I've seen the Apple apology letter. I think it was very generous but unnecessary. They didn't need to defend themselves. That's my job. Theoretically, if Apple offered you an executive role in the company, would you take it and stop YouTube? I don't think so. I really like my job now, but I'm not against working for Apple. It would just need to be a very specific job. I would kind of like the idea of making daily content on, perhaps if Apple tried to make a YouTube competitor and make me exclusive to that, or make, I'm a filmmaker. I want to make feature films and TV shows and stuff like that in the future, and I'm never going to stop doing tech videos, but that's a goal of mine that I have in the future. And to be able to make exclusive movies and TV shows for the Apple Music subscription, I would love to do that kind of thing. Let's see. When will we see the release of 2X, and remind us with some free hints, please? The reason I don't give out hints all the time is because I'm running out. I don't really have a ton of hints to give away. What can I hint at? That's the reason I try to make them kind of hard to get. Like, it's not easy to get a 2X hint because I don't have a lot of them. What could I do? I don't know. I'm trying to think of. I guess I could have one, but 2X is likely to be unveiled very early February. Of course, that could change. Schedules change a lot, but we're shooting for February 2nd, 3rd, around there. Why is it under the gaming category? It's probably because I'm streaming with an Elgato game capture device, so it might default to gaming or whatever. Where do you see yourself in 2 years? Oh, wow. Um, Probably at the same office, honestly. I like it here, and I like the Wi-Fi. We recently upgraded our Xfinity Wi-Fi package. We didn't know this was an option because they did not make it clear. For the longest time, we were like, what's the fastest, what's the best internet we can get? And we bought that, but it still charges overages after we go over a terabyte of data. And they were like, less than 1% of our customers go over a terabyte. We go over a terabyte every single month. But recently, we got a notification that it was like, you will now be charged overages unless you upgrade to the unlimited plan. And we were like, how long has there been an unlimited plan? So we go onto the Xfinity website. There's no button. There's no package that says unlimited. So I call customer support, and I'm like, can I get unlimited on my Wi-Fi package? And he went, oh, yeah. Hit a button. Now we have unlimited data. It's like, yeah, it costs more, but I'm okay with paying that much because we will use it. Now we... before we were worried we had to try to like not live stream as much or not use as much data to keep it over a terabyte. But now that it's unlimited, we stream as much as we want. That's why you should subscribe to Taylor's of Gaming. We're going to be doing quite a lot of gaming streams now that we have an unlimited. To what group do you recommend AirPods? Anyone. iOS. I mean, iOS, Android, any of that stuff. Basically anyone I recommend AirPods to. 2X is a GH5. That would be cool, but no, sorry. I can confirm. There's your free hint, all right? Project 2X is not a GH5, all right? Bezels on iMac Pro. I mean, it's a screen. It looks the same either way. Thinner bezels, I mean, you don't hold an iMac Pro. I think that might be one of the fundamental differences. Do you like Xbox One or PS4? All consoles are the same to me. It's not about the hardware. It's about the exclusives on them. If you like Halo, buy an Xbox. If you like The Last of Us, buy a PlayStation. I mean, I don't see the hardware-wise, they're so similar. One may be slightly more graphically better, but not by a long shot. In price points, they're practically the same. You have to pay for multiplayer on both of them. You have to pay for top dollar for games. I am totally a PC Master Race guy. I've been loving the Steam Winter Sale recently. We've gotten like Wolfenstein 2 was 50% off, GTA 5 was 60% off, Doom was half off. I believe it was $15. And that's the kind of sales. And it's free to play online with the PC, which I love. It also looks way, way, way better on whatever PC you can get a better deal on, whether it be a Windows 10 rig or a Mac boot camped. Love it. 2X is two new people. That'd be interesting. Just new human beings appear like that. Yes, I'm totally in the Master Race. I don't really care much about consoles. Not a fan. A small YouTube channel trying to create professional tech videos. Please give me a shout out. The Texter 123. There's your shout out. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Mac Pro thoughts. My thoughts on the Mac Pro is that no one should buy one right now. The current one that's available is stupid. I don't know why they still have that up for sale. They could at least update it to USB-C Thunderbolt 3. Doesn't even have that. PC Master Race talk on Mac Cheat, because PC stands for personal computer. That's technically a personal computer. I can run Windows 10, at least on my MacBook, and I can run Windows 10 on my iMac Pro, and run any PC game on it. I'm saying computers, desktops, laptops running games via Steam. I'm basically saying Steam Master Race is better than any console. I don't recommend consoles. Your first game? The first game I got really excited about, not first game ever played, but the first thing that got me really excited was Portal. That was kind of how I started gaming, was I found out this really, really cool game. Let's see. 2017 is the year of bezel-less display. What do you think the 2018 trend will be? It's going to be a barren year. I think it's not going to be as exciting. It's just going to be perfecting designs we already have. So that's about it. I don't know what the new trend is going to be in 2018, other than just faster, bigger, more diverse. Can you play games with amazing graphics on the iMac Pro with a decent frame rate? As of right now, like I mentioned earlier, Windows 10 does not support the CPU and GPU yet on the iMac Pro, so we can't boot camp it. Once it does, we'll try it. But for the Mac OS supported games, which I understand, before you type in the chat, they're not graphically intensive, but the low graphic games, which still look good to me, run at incredibly high resolutions and frame rates. So first of all, Counter-Strike Go runs at 5K at 60. Rocket League does not run at 5K, but it runs fully maxed out at 60 on here just fine. Minecraft, I know, definitely the bottom of the barrel, but runs really, really smoothly, very high frame rate, very high resolution, as does Portal 2. Portal 2 can actually run at 5K at 60, and then the Getting Over It game can also run at 5K at 60. So the fact that there's, they're not high-end games, but there are a ton of games that run 5K at 60, they look amazing, I gotta say. Like, it's very, very difficult, actually, to find content for the iMac Pro that actually takes advantage of the 5K. Mac OS supported games are a great way to do that. You can crank the resolution all the way up to 5K, and you just see every little detail in the game. It looks wonderful. Would you want Touch ID on a trackpad and or an Apple Watch? An Apple Watch, no, it's not necessary. I don't want Touch ID on anything because it won't work for me. Psoriasis changes my fingerprint all the time. But I do kind of miss the touch bar, I gotta say. I've been using the Magic Keyboard now, the space gray one, for my iMac Pro, and I kind of miss it. I kind of miss having that, being able to change the volume and the brightness down there with just a swipe. Now I'm going back to button pressing. In the predictive text and the emoji thing, like I found myself using that more than I realize now. There's GeForce Now, but that doesn't work on all games. Like, GeForce Now doesn't support GTA 5. I have GeForce Now on my MacBook Pro. But yeah, I can do that, but it's dependent on internet, and that's not really showing off the gaming performance of the iMac because I'd be just streaming it from a different computer. So the performance from my MacBook Pro won't be any different than the iMac Pro. I have used a mechanical keyboard. I'm not a fan. I prefer to not have keys that are really loud or that have a lot of travel. I prefer thin keyboards or touchscreen keyboards. I'm a new generation. I know, it's weird. I'm different that way. I like the touch bar, yes, me too. Is Apple's Magic Keyboard and Space Gray exclusive to iMac Pro? Yes, you cannot buy any of this mouse, keyboard, or trackpad unless you buy an iMac Pro. Or unless you're willing to pay an absurd amount of money and make it a donation to the Tailosive Tech channel. What were my numbers, guys? What were they? I have the black Apple stickers, which you only get with an iMac Pro. I believe I said 200 for those. The Magic Trackpad 2, if you super chat 500, I'll contact you and send it to you. In the black Lightning cable, which you can only buy with the iMac Pro, I think was also 200. How much for trackpad? eBay's not selling too many anyway. Cameron, 500. An absurd amount. An absurd amount of super chat. So that's what I believe the prices are. I know it's not a fair price. It's more of a donation to Tailosive than it is an actual purchase. What type of game you like? I'm more into RPG and puzzle. How about you? And do you like Wolfenstein 2? I haven't had much time to play it yet, but I do own it. But I prefer, I don't know, I'm not much of a gamer. I like games that are kind of different. I'm not a fan of first-person shooters. They get kind of boring. But I know, I just said I like Wolfenstein. But I kind of like the universe that Wolfenstein is based in. I think that's more interesting. I'm not a fan of just the whole Call of Duty or Battlefield thing. It just gets boring to me. Battlefront and stuff like that. I like universes or storylines, but not into just like point the gun this way and shoot at it. I'm not a fan of that kind of thing. I like Minecraft. It's just kind of virtual Legos. I get that they're not graphically intensive games that I like, but I'm just bored of. I don't care much about games that are just the same thing we've had for years that it just looked slightly different. Car race games, not much. I play Asphalt a lot. Well, I used to on the Apple TV, but I'd say, like, I guess it's not a race game, but I really like Rocket League. I just got, and I streamed that on Taylosive Gaming recently. Would 2X be a proposal? No. 2X, as I've mentioned before, is not a personal life thing. It's a Taylosive related thing. It's going to change the way Taylosive looks. It's not my personal life. Yeah, Minecraft basically runs at 300 FPS on here. It's crazy good. Product by Taylosive, a tech product maybe, using a Raspberry Pi or something. No, I don't. No, it's not really. It's not really a product. 2X is not a merchandise or release or something like that. I have a semi-broken 5C. Should I wait for next year or get the iPhone 10? I'd say if you can afford the 10 comfortably, get that. It'll be a very noticeable improvement. 2X is Drew killing Ajit Pai. That'd be, well, no, don't murder people. I disagree with Ajit Pai. I would not kill Ajit Pai. Don't take that out of context. I feel like here's the issue with saying that you would kill him or you want to kill him, is that then he just points it out and says, look, I get death threats every day. This is what I have to deal with just for wanting to repeal net neutrality. People want to kill me. And then it distracts from the actual discussion. No, Ajit, no one actually wants to kill you, but that's not an excuse for us to not have an actual logical discussion about why that's a bad idea. I had an idea about an iMac. I thought it'd be really cool to have a Mega Touch Bar on the iMac's chin. Would you find it practical, and what do you think about improvement? I think that's a little too high. The chin of the iMac is a little bit too far away from the keyboard. There's a Mac Mini Concept. If you just search Mac Mini Concept, there's just this kind of pill with a touch bar on that, and that you could put right at the brim of your keyboard, and that is a little closer. Usual In-N-Out order. I usually get a 4x4 with no onions and a side of fries and a drink. Love In-N-Out. How late are they open? I think they're open pretty late. Yeah, it's too late. Taylosive redesign. Yeah, there's those happen. Thoughts on Tesla pickup truck? Really, really cool. In fact, I think the Roadster gets too much attention. Because I'm not a car guy, I don't focus on like how fast cars goes and stuff. I don't understand why people like Marquez and everything Apple Pro are okay with like, I'm gonna spend $250,000 on a car that goes like what? Is it 0.5 seconds faster to 60 miles an hour than the car you have already? I think it's less than that. I think it's like that can go 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. It's like the car you have now can do 0 to 60 in what, 2.5, 2.4? When do you use that? I don't use a car enough for that to be worth it. I think that the Tesla Semi is actually interesting. It's like an actual change on an electric car. We've never seen an electric car get to that caliber and have that much torque and that much power. That's far more exciting to me. In fact, the fact that Elon Musk announced that they're working on a pickup truck right after the Model Y, that's something I'd actually been interested in. I would love to purchase a Tesla pickup truck. It's like, it's cool. It's like heavy duty. It can move stuff and it's got a lot of power. But it also is electric. Like, I love that. It's a very interesting audience that would go for. Apple needs your advice. I think they do, yeah. 2X, you guys moving to a new location that's 2 times bigger? No, we're pretty stuck in the office we're at right now. We're not moving out of here anytime soon. Not spoiling it. Okay, yeah. If you find out what 2X is, don't spoil it. Yeah. Where do you stick the Apple stickers? I don't know. I'm waiting to see if anyone's interested in buying them and getting a personal note. Yeah, I don't know where to put them. I thought about putting one on my car because I have a white car, and I was like, oh, black Apple sticker. But then I realized I'd be announcing to the world that I own a $6,000 computer. So like, maybe that's something I should keep to myself. Buying a second iPhone 10. Yes, all this hype is that I'm buying a second iPhone. Tesla could ship their own products with their own product. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like you buy a Tesla, you get a you get a Tesla, you get a Tesla phone and stuff. Do a Q&A later on, maybe. That's what this is. Yeah, that would be the Rob Me sticker. As soon as you see a black Apple sticker on someone's car, be like, oh, follow them. I know where they have an expensive computer. We actually have this iMac Pro with a metal loop against the wall, and then with the hole in the dock, it is bike locked attached with like a heavy duty chain, so it doesn't even like the kind of cable you use on aircraft carriers, so you can't really break it with plank cutters. So like you couldn't walk out of Tailosive with this, which is cool. Ship Tesla cars in a Tesla Semi. That would be cool. The semi truck could drive to you autonomously and then open up, and then the Tesla car you ordered could drive itself out, and then the semi go away. That'd be cool. Yeah. I don't think there will be any more iPod Touches. No, I really don't. I think they're done. If you think you know what 2X is, but you don't want to say it, that's totally fine. I'm totally all for just generating hype. That's what 2X is meant for. A bit late, but Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Is the Wi-Fi in your office good? It's pretty good. It's the best I've ever had. It's not the best in the world, but it's about 250 down and 30 up. Obviously, I know there's way better Wi-Fi, but there's no better Wi-Fi we can get here. There's no option. There's no office space in Oroville that gets better Wi-Fi than us. And we recently upgraded it to unlimited, which means we can live stream, upload, run stuff, all we want. There's no cap. It's interesting, actually. My USB cable is connecting my iMac Pro to my MacBook Pro, and it is charging it. It's actually not holding the charge. I guess that USB-C, it makes sense that the USB-C ports on the back of the iMac Pro are not 87 watts. That would be kind of crazy, but it's holding its power. Do you like Tesla more because of their software advancements in the car industry or the environmental impact? While both are important, I'm not trying to degrade the environmental one. I do prefer. I'm more interested in Teslas because of the software things they do. I want the future. The future to me is self-driving cars, and I'm really, really into that. And I think electric power is better. It's not just better for the environment, but again, it gets kind of messy when you start arguing about why it's better for the environment, because then it's like, well, you're charging it. Where does that power come from? It comes from a coal power plant. So it's not. And then there's lithium deficiency and what happens to lithium batteries after they get used up. There's debates there about whether Teslas are actually better for the environment. But either way, if they're better for the environment or not, I still think electric power is better than a gas combustion engine. Played any games on the iMac? Yeah, subscribe to Tailosive Gaming. You can see what I'm playing on there. Really great microphone, by the way. We've been live streaming with this. Webcam's really great, microphone's really great, and live streams very, very well. Why your Apple Watch band blue? This is the blue Nike band. You can't get this one anymore. It was exclusive. I bought this right before it sold out. I probably got one of the last ones of them. It was like, when I bought this, it was like, I think it was, if you want it shipped to you, it's going to take 8 weeks to ship. It's not available in the 38 millimeter. It's not available at the Sacramento Apple Store. It's only available at the Roseville Apple Store, and if it ships, it's 8 weeks. So I was like, okay, let's get it right now. Prem Patel. There, I said your name. What are you most looking forward to for 2018? Apple products are not allowed as answers. Okay. Why? Apple sheep. Okay. You know what? I'll just say it. HomePod. Okay, but not Apple product. I don't know what's coming out. What is it? The S9 isn't exciting. The Pixel 3 is gonna be a year old. A good phone for a year old. Not Apple products. I don't know what's coming out. How about this? The next Essential phone. I'm excited for the Essential phone too. There you go. There's your answer. Not looking forward to HomePod? That's fine. You guys are asking me questions. And that's the product I'm most excited for. iPhone 10 Plus, that'll be cool. But in terms of new product lines for Apple, that'll be the first one since the Apple Watch, which is cool. And yeah, there's cheaper battery upgrades for the iPhone 6 and 7. Now they're only $30. What happened to your Pixel? I sent it back. I hated it. People have been complaining about the notch on the iPhone 10, but I haven't not noticed it. Where do you stand with it? I prefer it, honestly. It forces the top widgets on your phone to be minimalistic. It means that when you plug in headphones, the other icons disappear and the headphone ones comes up. When you start charging, the battery gets bigger and then shrinks down. Like, I prefer it being minimal opposed to the old-fashioned way or the Android way of just stuffing the top of your phone with different widgets and notifications and icons and stuff. I don't like that. I like that the notch forces that to be basic, and I don't notice it, but I mean, like, when I do notice it, it's a good thing. It's like, I'm glad it's there. The only time it's slightly annoying, but it doesn't ruin the experience entirely, is just, it'd be cool if there wasn't a notch when you were watching a video, which eventually iPhones will be able to do that. What are your thoughts on the Pixelbook? Well, watch my video on it, but it's stupid. I hate the Pixelbook. The RAM is upgradable in the iMac Pro, but it's very difficult. And also, I have 32 gigs of RAM, so it's going to be a while before I need to upgrade the RAM. How much for the stickers? What did we say? No. How about this? Black Lightning cable, which you can only get with iMac Pro. That's $200. Apple stickers, the black ones, $150. Magic Trackpad is still $500. I like it. I don't want to sell it. But you can convince me I don't want it. Let's see. My old MacBook Pro is right here. I'm live streaming on it. It's a great mobile macOS device. I mean, MacBooks and iMacs are very different products. There's 2X hide and seek Bert too. That'd be funny. What do you think is the dumbest Apple product aside from the book? The smart keyboard. I don't think we need a smart keyboard for an iPad. Just use the keyboard on there. Yes. My prices are incredibly unreasonable because I want these things, but you can convince me I don't want them. White silicone case on space gray iPhone, a good combo? Yeah, that's a good one. Really, really good one. I can say now at least I don't regret going to the iPhone 10 from the S7 Edge. Great. Glad you enjoy it. Can you please get CarPlay? I want your thoughts. Well, that means buying a whole new car that's not a Tesla, so probably not going to happen. What's more likely is I find someone I know, friend or family, that has a car that can run CarPlay, and then I review that. But no, I haven't used it. Again, getting CarPlay is kind of difficult because it involves getting a car. How tall are you? I'm 5'11". What do you think about leasing a hydrogen car with free fuel for $400 a month? Is it worth it? I'll stick with my car, thanks, for now, unless it's a Tesla. I'm hoping that my little Hyundai can last me until I can afford a Tesla. That's my goal. It's not a super realistic one, but that's what I hope to happen. Lightning cable. Yes. For those people asking for the prices, lightning cable, 200 stickers, 150 trackpad. Yeah, you've got the prices. You can get aftermarket CarPlay units for like $200. Aftermarket CarPlay doesn't sound like actual CarPlay, so I don't want to get some hack version of it. It is 12:37 in the morning for me in my time zone. But with that in mind, we've come up on our hour for the live stream, so that about wraps it up for today. Thank you guys for watching. You'll be getting your first episode of Ask Taylosive very, very soon. Pay my phone bill or buy black Apple stickers. Oh yeah, Apple stickers. Way more important. But thank you for all your questions and your donations. Of course, those price points are still there. Contact me on Twitter if you are interested in buying them for those price points. Don't try to undercut. That's the number. Thank you guys for watching, and you'll see the first episode of Ask Taylosive later on today. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.